money, don't make noise. Make money, don't make money, just make money, don't make noise. Make money, don't.
Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Alright, this is the Unifax of CW Trading, and we are on the pre-market session analysis. Okay, we're going to do pre-market session analysis, and today is the 8th, which is Sunday, November 2020. And we're just going to go straight into looking at what we have in terms of the red. All right, news. Okay, so on Wednesday, just keep in mind that we have Wednesday, we have holiday here in US. We also have in card, right, and we also have in Europe here, and we're going to see less volatility in the market. And so during this period, there will be less trading volume. All right, so we'll just need to avoid this day, okay, this very day here, Wednesday, this is on the 11th, okay, because we less trading volume and we can have coins actually doing the crazy things, okay. So this is going to be all day, so I'm going to try and avoid this, okay. On Wednesday and Thursday, we have the pound, right, major news here on the pound. Bank of England will speak, and the Governor Bank of England will speak, and also about the same time, right, Powell will also give a speech, okay, and before that, we had the NZD actually give out its statement, okay, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand actually give out a statement, also share cash flow will also be released, then, okay, so those are those key. So that will be what will be moving the market in the week. Okay, so let's just get straight into the chart and then see some chart setups we have here. CNN has also already announced that Joe Biden is the current or the new elected U.S. president. All right, CNN has also announced, and also some major news broadcasters. Okay, actually gave out those press release, okay, about Joe Biden winning the U.S. election, okay. And what do we have here? What we have here, we'll just start with the major pays, okay, in our analysis today. We'll start with the major pays, and we'll look at from the monthly to the weekly to the daily, all right, and to the H4, which is those entry levels, okay. So we'll just start with the monthly for the with the CHF. We had a huge structure here, but as you can start to see, as you see, we have a breakout, all right, around the below the 0.902, which is the body, okay, of the previous candle actually created this impulse here. We see how market is trying to capture of some sort, failed to actually move. All right, but we're not going to be such a hurry to actually continue shorting this pair to the downside, because if we look at the monthly change, we have so far moved 1.3883%. So we're going to look for some setups. Okay, we're going to expect some setups to actually come into the market, and then that's when we're going to start looking at those short opportunities. But overall, we are bearish on the USD. Okay, we are bearish on the USD, and from here on, you can see how this candle came, the Shin candle dropped, bulls go back. So I could expect a little bit of bullishness, okay, here coming back into the market, at least into testing this area. I think that would be a nice time to start looking for those short opportunities to the downside from a weekly perspective. Okay, if I'm looking at a weekly perspective, that will be the area, because definitely this was an area too which we could have also seen an inverted head and shoulder. So if this area is failing to hold price, definitely price should actually still try to come back to that area, that environment, and then we can look to short to the downside. Okay, so on the daily time frame, what do we have on daily time frame? This was before the election, so we had all this massive move right during the election week, and we can see how the pay actually dropped 1.83 in the week. That was massive. Okay, that was huge, and also breaking below the weekly ATR, which is 142 pips, and we've seen the pay actually drop 203 pips, which was also massive. So far we do not have any reasonable reasons to actually start shorting the Fed, because looking at this H4 candle here, looked like a feeling took out the very high here, and with this starting to actually accumulate going to the upside, and this was actually about the end of the session on Friday. So this can actually still continue, right, pushing up, showing some bit of consolidation of some sort, and then if we would then look at taking advantage of this pullback here, we would then look at a swing structure. This is impulse correction. Just look at this impulse. It was correction of this impulse. The next impulse to the downside. Okay, let's just see what was the length of that next impulse, exceeding 1.161 pip. So we just need to look at the next correction environment. Next correction environment, we're looking at the 50%. Okay, 50% should actually take price back into the 0.9092 on 0.90 area here, which is the area we're concerned with. Before now, we can look for the short opportunities to the downside. Those are the areas we want to start looking for short opportunities. Okay, and but we just need to watch closely how the candle will react, right, in everything react in the market. So we go straight next into the USD JPY. The USD JPY also similar to the USD CHF. We see how price then broke through the 104, which we spoke about. We did analysis on this pair right from April, all right, May, which we spoke about that we want to see price coming to hit the 102 area, and that's still also possible, all right. So we did the analysis a long time ago, and we spoke about that this is in a downtrend, all right. This is in a downtrend, and if we look at from a monthly perspective, and we can also identify that this was in a downtrend. By the time this was broken, this structure here was broken around the 106 area. I knew that the next target area would be around the 102 or 101 area. Okay, so we just need to look for those bearish opportunities in the market, and for this to have happened close at the self decision, I think price should at least sort of rise of some sort before now the next drop around probably you can actually see a target the 50% Fibonacci retracement, okay, which can actually take price also falling into that area which we spoke about before. Okay, let's just look at that. So this is the 32, all right, around the 104, it's 32. We can look at that area and we can work with that area, all right, lifting at high as 8.6, and we'll just target the 127 and also the 1618 Fibonacci extension. Next on the euro, I don't think we'll be trading the euro this week, okay, and we just need to be meticulous how we approach the euro, because even when the euro shows sign of restraint here, there is still a sting at the end of the tail, all right. So I'm just going to take you to the euro indices. Okay, we saw how price rejected multiple times, okay, not just once but multiple times. Price rejected multiple times, rejected this structure here, and you can see how this zone here, how price rejected one, rejected this area, and then price then fell and then dropped one more time, coming back to this previous structure here, and it's showing sign of strength early in the month, okay, and even on the weekly time frame, all right. This was also a failed rally here, and this was a failed rally here, okay. Price could actually still push up, try to correct of some sort, and before then dropping again. So whatever is happening with the Euro USD, I think it's because of the USD. Okay, Euro USD is actually gaining much strength. It's because of the USD was actually pretty much weaker last week, and that was why the Euro USD actually took great advantage of that alone. So we're looking at price actually doing a retest after breaking a key support here. So this is a retest, and whatever could happen immediately, the USD can actually summon up strength. Okay, so we'll see this actually run down like headless chicken to the downside. That's what I expect to see. But overall, we have price breaking through the structure. There's still a huge possibility price can actually still come into testing this area here and even up to this area here. There is still great opportunities, and there's still great possibility, all right, for price to actually still try and come into testing that area, because this was previous structure in the market, and price could actually want to come back into testing those zones. Okay. Okay, so we just go back to the monthly time frame. We've actually put up that structure there cleanly. So we can expect further rise to see coming after rejection of this structure here. And you know, we just need to wait for a failed, okay, actually price actually showing no signs of demand again to the upside, and price actually failing and then dropping to the downside. But however the situation may be, we are looking at this high because the last time price actually came into this area, it actually showed great rejection of those areas. And comparing also with the COT report and how the large players have been positioned in the market. So if they actually change their bias as a result of the US presidential election release. Okay, so who is actually the current president of US is actually going to make investors change their sentiment or their bias and also want to come in differently. I think we would then reevaluate the situation and then make ourselves available to make that next bold step. So looking at the Euro USD, we would be expecting a couple of things to happen with the Euro USD. Okay, so if the USD actually still continue to show signs of weakness, I think the Euro USD will actually benefit from that and can actually move up into testing back the 1.95 area, also the 1.2 area. But I think if that will continue, depending on how everything in the market goes, I think 1.21 area would be also a possibility for the market to actually try and come in and test. Okay, 1.21 area here would be a possibility for price to actually come in and test to show an exhaustive pattern. And that way, we're going to reevaluate the situation and also let you guys know. But from here on, you have the 200-day moving average actually going far away. The distance, okay, here is very huge. So if there is a bullish momentum here, I think it's going to be so strong and it's going to go far, even up to testing the 1.23 using the moving average calculation here. Okay, so we go next to the USD card. Okay, the USD card, for last week, we did see USD card actually make such a great run, okay, into coming back into the support area. But we do not know what at this support area, we cannot start shorting from the support area here plainly, but we need to look for opportunities on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, what we saw here is that we saw a failed rally early in the month. Okay, this was last week candle, which was the very first candle, a weekly candle for the month of November. So we actually saw this failed rally here, price coming back into testing this zone. So we can only start looking for trading opportunities on the daily time frame from here on, and we can also see how price came into this area. If we can have a retracement of some sort, okay, price moving up, all right, of some sort, actually showing us a structure here, I think we can then short to the downside. But if not, I think we just need to avoid the whole pay for the whole week and then allow price to actually show us a reason or give us a reason to be involved in this trade. We should have been involved in a short trade here, but due to the presidential election, we didn't really understand where the market is moving to and who's going to win the presidential election. Before the presidential election, I was biased that if Trump should win, okay, the USD, okay, should actually go up, and if Biden should win, the USD should actually go down at least for a small period of time, and that can actually be taking its toll on the market right now. All right, and GBP GBP, I will not really be looking for opportunities to long the USD GBP, but only looking for opportunities to short the GBP because looking at the GBP indices, okay, this area was also key. All right, it was key here, it was key here, it was key here. The price then moved back down, came back. There was a weakness of this area. We can see from this that price stayed through, continued the bullish momentum, and also is still bullish. So whatever happens here, this is a bullish momentum. This is a bullish structure, and GP should continue moving to the upside. But personally, I have my own simple reasons why I don't want to be trading that way because around this environment, price can actually do anything. Okay, but against the GBP USD, against the USD, it can actually still further go up because of the USD weakness. But immediately strength comes into weakness, the USD, we are going to see this actually run down like headless chicken to the downside. And we just go next to the NZD. NZD looks quite phenomenal, and this is the pay I am going to look to really trade this week. Okay, because it shows me an opportunity. It gives me a very great reason to want to test the 0.69300 area. I have a very clean reason to wanting to test that, and we'll start from this analysis. We had good structure here. Okay, we had good structure here, And if we go ahead to put up a trend line there, we will then see that the zero point 0.7 area, um, 0.74 area was a very good structure in the market. And we are currently seeing price peering through that structure there, even on a weekly basis. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be waiting on a lower time frame to look for opportunities to actually go long. And when we find these opportunities, we are going to go long in the market for the NZD. But that's the pair I want to be trading more this week. Looking at also the NZD indices, we can also see here with the NZD indices that here there was multiple rejections here, multiple rejections here, multiple rejections here, and then Bulls got back into the market and also rejected this point. But you can see that this is the breakout structure, and we can actually wait for some sort of weakness or structure after that breakout to be able to involve in a trade. Okay, so that was the breakout. This was the breakout formation here we saw here, and it was a very nice formation here. Okay, it was a breakout formation. So we need to wait for price to actually give us another entry to go up to the upside, and only then we will look to long the NZD USD, because it's the indices that are actually moving the real currency. Okay, so we will at least look to target the 1.3 area, which is a very classic area, which we saw rejections multiple times off, okay, in the last report, okay, in terms of the COT. But looking at these rejections here, these rejections looks classic. And if you are trading here, you understand that these are very classic rejections, okay, multiple times, okay. So this could be inverted head and shoulder pattern, okay, in the market, and we can see price coming to test this point. And if price could actually break through this point, you might see NZD continue to make further uprises to upside. Thereby, also the NZD USD further could make uprises into testing the 0.69 300 area, even as much as testing the 0.71 area. Okay, so we go straight to the AUD USD. AUD USD is also similar to the NZD. Okay, but looking at the indices, okay, I am not really liking this setup here. I'm not liking this setup here as much as I do for NZD. All right, as much as before NZD as I want to long NZD, because weekly time frame we saw what looked like an exhaustive pattern here. Induction candle, price broke below, came back with huge strength in the in the very first week of the new month's candle, and could actually continue to the upside. But definitely this is very far from completing this embedded head and shoulder. I want to see that also happening before I could look to take that bull step into the market. So probably if we can look at a Tuesday reversal instead of here, I think that would be a very good area to start looking for buy opportunities. You can have a run of a Tuesday reversal pattern or formation here. These are always my favorite areas or day to actually take a reversal pattern. Tuesday reversal, always classic, guys. Always classic. All right. We go straight to some Euro GBP case. We got a request for analysis of some page. So we just go straight to look at them right. So we just see then Euro USD has been analyzed, GP USD has been analyzed. So we just go straight to analyzing the GP card and also the Euro card. Okay, so we'll just go back to our chart and then analyze those pages. We'll start with the Euro card. Euro card, I gave a signal here that was 3 weeks ago, okay, for a short trade inside of this area, and we could see that we took first profit in this territory here, and that was classic, okay. But overall, I want to be bearish on this pay. I have various reasons why I want to be bearish on this pay. Okay, I have various reasons why I want to be bearish on this pay, and we indeed saw multiple rejections here, but I'm not going to be bearish for long on this pay. We saw multiple rejections of this high here of this 1.59 area, and it was rejection far back here, rejection. Okay, we had rejection, and we also have rejection here. Price then starting to drop of some sort and actually go into a diagonal of some sort before then exploding to the upside. And definitely, I would really expect to see that. Okay, so from a weekly perspective, if we are starting to believe that price could actually go into some sort of contraction or diagonal of some sort. We could actually be drawing those trend lines in those formats there. Okay, as we will see here, guys, this is already happening. It's not active, it's not happening, so it's already happening there. As you can see, the downward movement is already caged. Okay, it's already caged. Now, what is going to happen? What is looking for is the upward movement. So we're just going to look for a more suitable upward movement here. Okay, and as you can see here, this is also happening. Price can actually come back into looking for more liquidity up here before the next drop. So I took first profit in here. I'm looking for a reason for price to actually come in here one more time, and then I would short the pay to the downside again into this target area. That's still within the current month. So within the current month, price can actually still move up and down, provided I am within the environment of the price change. Okay, here this was the key area here, which price actually steered through to reject this huge structure there. As you can see, price actually speared through with this candle to close below, rejecting the structure. So we are going to look for only also setups around the structure here and those territories there. Just need to restrict this to the monthly around the 1.557 area. So price could actually come in there, and we are seeing bullish momentum here, bullish momentum here. So we need to wait for a rejection here. Once there could be a rejection here, I think that would be the best time to look for the short opportunities. We can either target the 127 Fibonacci extension of the swing. Okay, so if you're looking at the Fibonacci retracement, this would be around or even exceeding the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement. And if you're looking at the extension, we can look at the Fibonacci extension of the 127 to be our take profit area, which will be wonderful. Okay, which will be wonderful. We can actually look at the 127 Fibonacci extension. Okay, here, which can actually take price far back here, but we need to see rejections of this point. Okay, rejections, we want to see rejections of this point. As you can see, that price is starting to actually slow down. Okay, doing some crazy things can actually come in here, rejecting this point before now the next drop to the downside. All right, with the GBP card, I'm looking at the short trade around this area here, right? Because this structure here actually aligns better with the kind of structure I like to trade, the up down price movement before looking for the downside. I am bearish on this, so if I'm looking at a bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. So if this fails to form a W formation, this fails to form, okay, this can actually drop far low as to the downside. Okay, this was a huge rejection, as you could see, just around the 1.7 area was a huge rejection. But on a weekly time frame, also we are starting to see some bearishness around this key structure as price was able to spear above this previous structure. Okay, so we have this huge resistance here previously. This candle came in so huge, next candle came in huge, but we can see that this candle have actually failed to follow up what happened there and could actually start consolidating or looking for the next direction to the downside. That's what we want to be doing. And I actually hopped in on a trade last week around this environment here, and my risk was up here. So I'm going to still be in that trade and then see what's going to happen at the end of the day. Okay, so this is last week, it was last week pattern here. Unless I can have a bounce of this key structure here, when I have a bounce of that structure, I think I'll need to reevaluate the situation and then put up my trailing stop instead of here. Because definitely if this bounce off here, price is going to come back so fast to the upside and continue the uprise movement. But I am bearish on the GBP. All right. Next, next to look at the just need to look at some of those ones that actually interest me. The Euro CHF doesn't really interest me because of the movement as it respect to it. GBP CHF, I gave out a signal here and around the 1.19 area was our short area is there, and we are still around that environment as we could see multiple rejections up here, multiple rejections. And if this could actually fail, we might see price actually drop one more time to downside. I think price looking for ways, okay, reasons to actually hold within that environment, all right, stalling inside of there. But I think the majority of the trend would be to the downside. Okay, majority of the trend would be to the downside. It was huge fire rejection of here. I think majority of the trend should be to the downside from here on because this was a rejection of his previous high and market then dropped one more time. So I don't really see reason for price to actually come into testing this high before then dropping because there is a huge block resistance here actually impeding price from making the next move to the upside. Okay, the rejection here, but we need to wait for some sort of reversal pattern of some sort before we can then involve in the trade. So far, so good. We have also a rejection of the 1.18 area also. I think it would be best we would just have to wait for price to actually confirm the breakout of this structure because what we saw initially in the market, we saw what was a wedge pattern. Okay, we saw a wedge pattern and also price actually dropped below the wedge pattern, all right, and breaking out with this candle here, but couldn't break below this previous structure here. Price bounced off that structure, went for the retest and couldn't drop one more time as we wanted to see breaking the structure and could also go for a bouncing game there for some time in order to look for more liquidity and also more clarity in direction. Okay, next will be the Euro NZD. The Euro NZD, we spoke about the Euro NZD when price actually came into this area, creating multiple rejections with this candle, and then see price drops to the downside. Throughout last week, I spoke about it, and that what I want to be doing only shorting the Euro NZD to the downside, and I can actually continue to do that furthermore into this territory here. Why I want to do that more is because if we look at what is happening in the whole general market with the Euro NZD, we would then realize that this pay is in some sort of this could actually be a flat, okay, a flat structure here, rising up structure, and if price actually fell, they could actually take price one more time down to the downside, and that we need to prepare for. There are certain things in the market which we need to prepare for based on the structure which we have seen, but I really anticipate and I really think that price should actually come in. If this structure should fail one more time, I think price should actually want to find its way to the downside, even though around the 1.73 area, which I am currently seeing as a huge structure. Okay, 1.73 area. Let's just put up that territory or that zone cleanly. 1.73 area. I think price will want to come into testing those areas there. Okay, so from H4 perspective, we then would only look for short opportunities, as we could see here to the downside. The price is currently trading inside of the channel, and that has happened for 2 weeks. So price could actually still continue to trade after showing relegation of this candle here. If price could actually then move one more time to the downside, creating for us a very good trade. I think we would then short from there to the downside around the 1.37 area. But I think it's a very good time to actually start looking for the short opportunities here, risking far as high as previous week, which is the 182 pips, and also targeting the 239 pips. Okay, so the next will be the Euro AUD. Also similar here, but a little bit different. Why this is different in its own nature, it's how it's positioned. Okay, so we just need to run this immediately. So we did see huge trading candle here came in. This was a breakout structure, so this could actually be a retest. So we do not know, but definitely this is a structure which we want to see broken before we can then continue to the downside. This shows great signs of bullishness. Okay, so on a weekly time frame, we have seen how price have rejected this key area of the 1.633 area territory here. Rejection here could actually move to completing the next upside. So we just don't want to be in a hurry to actually start shorting this way to the downside. So even though we are bearish on this in terms of bias from the fundamentals, because if we are going to go the risk on way or risk on sentiment way, all right, so we're going to see the Euro NZD studies go down, Euro NZ is going to go down, NZD US is going to go up, pound AUD is going to go down. You know, every pair with the AUD and NZD just risk off, risk on asset is going to go down, all right? Because those are the risk on asset. Risk on asset are basically the NZD and the AUD, all right? Risk off asset are the GPY and also the USD, or like that. So I'm looking at possibly my bias is going to be more of risk on than risk off, at least for the next 2 weeks, all right? Okay, so we can look at price starting actually come into this zone. If we could drop, we just need to drop from a very good high back into the target area which we want to see. So the target area here will be the 1.61, because that was the last confirmed target area, but we need to drop from a great high. Okay, at least we need to drop from a great high. Since there was this failed rally here one time, we can actually expect price to actually move one more time before we can drop from a great high, and that will actually give us a good probability of a great risk to reward trade. Okay, but we saw last week that we dropped also from a great high here, steering through all the structures there and actually taking profit around the 127 Fibonacci extension, which was also a clean move of the swing here. This was 127, which was classic. Okay, guys, and we could also see price then come into this structure here, looking for those liquidity in the market or also here, but we're looking at these two areas to start showing to the downside. All right, and we just look at the Euro GBP. Euro GBP, I think it's best we avoid this space for another week. I think it's best we avoid this space for another week, because it can actually do one of the two. Can either truncate here and then move up, okay, or can actually move up rejecting this point. So we need to find a rejection of this point. This candle is not good enough for anything. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. This one was different. Okay, one was different. It was at the end of a month. It was the last candle, weekly candle of a month. Okay, the next new month came in strong. So this is the first candle of a new month, of a new month, which is different. Okay, so looking at the business in the market, I think this can actually continue bullish or can continue bearish, but this is a huge structure here. Price can actually come into test, reject, or show one of the valid entry for the trade. But we want to see price reject this point. From here, midpoint is crazy. God, it's crazy. Even on the daily time frame, it's crazy. We have multiple rejections here. Could actually be or may not be rejections here. This next candle can actually come in and fill, come in there. So this is an area which we want to start putting up our trading gamut. Okay, area to put up a trading gamut and risk up here, target down here. But this is a trend line. So the best thing I'm going to do, the only thing I'm going to do this week is to avoid this thing. I'm going to have to avoid it. I'm going to have to avoid it. I'm in an uptrend. So I've already come into testing the trend line. Okay, in an uptrend, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is my higher low. So don't need to actually start rushing to short to the downside anymore further, because the downside is actually limited. Upside is, where we have the majority of the space. So I need to actually wait for confirmation that this is ready to actually move to the upside. I will just need to avoid that pair and then move to the next one. So we just go in to look at the sentiments pair. All right, for the sentiments pair and what is happening. I really love the NZD so very much this week, as I would point to you. You would see that the NZD is actually ready to do miracles here this week. This was a rejection, okay, of the lows, bullish setup here. This is a breakout of this structure of the 0.618, and the next candle is going to come in to try and complete this pattern here, but could actually have a pullback before then continuing to the upside. But that you do not know from a weekly perspective. So we need to look at the daily, what is happening on the daily. What's happening daily, guys? Daily, huge candle, came back, rejected this point. Next candle came in here. Next one came in bearish, and no real area of interest. But definitely, what we saw here was a wedge pattern that was actually, broken with this formation here. So the majority of the majority of the trade or the movement will be to the upside. That is where we want to be. Probably I'm going to look for some sort of retracement of some sort, after an impulse, okay, or a breakout. Sometimes people may actually think it's going to be so much in a hurry, and it drops one more time, trapping people that actually came in here, and they can actually may not want to wait longer. I can actually close the trade, and actually price comes in retracement. Next candle came in very strong, and that's always very crazy. So we just watch out for opportunities. We do watch out for setups. We watch out for reasons, okay, to want to be involved. Okay, so one of the reasons I can look for is that we are trading inside what could look like a possible channel. Okay, this could be a possible channel. There's a huge possibility for that to also work out cleanly. This could be a channel, and a drop from that point can actually take price into testing these levels here, and testing these levels here one, and also these levels here two. Okay, so these are two areas if price should actually drop, would test. Okay, this area one, area two. So if we're going on a long trade, we know that possibly where our support is gonna be around here. But I think there's going to be a sting at the end of the tail, all right, for this trading setup alone. And let me just point it out to you why I think there will be a sting at the end of the tail. This was Wednesday. Okay, this was Tuesday high, Wednesday high, Thursday. Price can just go far out of those structures, and back here. I think price can actually drop one more time, creating an indecision candle at the end of the week. Can actually do that at the end of the week. But I think price wants to test this environment of the 0.60 area. I think so. Many of the times we can actually have breakout, okay, of a structure, and price will just form indecision candle there. It just came up here, came down here, close here, midpoint. The next candle will actually come a little bit down and then continue going up. So if you were, let me just show you guys. All right, I tried this setup many of the times here. This setup many times, and I am always not confused when they happen. This here, okay, this here was the breakout, as you can see. Okay, didn't align well here, but you could see well that this was the breakout candle here. But you see, it came back retracing, okay, hitting the previous low, also moved back up, created this indecision candle as you can see before now the next bull came into the market. So indecision candle here is crazy. I can I can read it for I just need to wait for those pullbacks. That's where I want to capture. I want to capture those pullbacks. I don't want to go in here. It's crazy to come in here and trade. Okay, guys. CAT CHF should move up massively at the start of a new week. Monday can actually start moving up on Asian session or market opening. All right, market opening can actually start taking this trade to the upside after we saw this massive rejection of this structure here, 0.6885 area. We saw this rejection, and I spoke about this setup many of the times that this candle here came in feeling so hugely, taking out all this craziness in the market. Definitely, price is going to come in to continue feeling. Moving on, if we can break through this area cleanly, we'll come into testing the 0.69805 area. Okay, so what could happen on Monday market opening? What could happen on Monday market opening? I'm looking at buying the CAT CHF to target the TP1 and also the TP2. Awesome. All right, that's what I want to be doing. I want to be doing, guys. I want to be doing that. A monthly perspective, we see what could look like rejection, pullback. So if this is a pullback, after an impulse, you can have a pullback, and then you can have the next impulse to the upside. I think the 127 Fibonacci extension would be a very classic area or zone. Okay, so we just need to watch out. Many of the times when I'm trading, I get to be very excited. Okay, I get to be very excited when I'm trading. I get to be very excited when I'm trading because it gives me so much so much jaw. All right, so this is my retracement area here. This was let me just get this out of the way. This was the channel. You know, this is a bullish flag now to me. Okay, of the zero A, B, and this could be C. If price was actually moving to do a D, which I'm not looking at because of this candle here, if price was to have done a D, this couldn't be so huge. Okay, this was so huge. Couldn't take out this structure there. Came back to look for more liquidity inside of the zone and to continue to the upside. My stop loss is somewhere down here, and I could target the 1 to some Fibonacci extension. And I think that would be a very wonderful move. So 1 to some Fibonacci extension of this swing we take price into testing this structure there. You can actually check out this structure. I think that will be awesome. All right, 0.707 territory. Monthly time frame, it looks classic for a take profit, and it's also possible after double combo. Okay, after double combo, let me show you guys what the double combo means. Okay, double combo means bullish structure, bearish structure, carry momentum, drop one more time, carry momentum, drop one more time, and it could actually be a double combo. And before that, the next drop. So the price should actually come into testing, taking out the structure before now the next drop to down. So I'm looking at that double combo coming to the market, and that'll be classic. All right, barometer pay AUD I'm not going to take AUD this week, okay, but it's bullish. I'm not going to short it either. I'm not going to take much of it because this structure here looked crazy. Last week I was looking at this structure previously, also double pattern here. This broke out, retesting, and then dropped to the downside. When it hit the 1 to some Fibonacci extension, I knew that from that point, it's a no-go area for any trade. Okay, 1 to some Fibonacci extension. Hit 1, also hit the 161.8. That was crazy. Also similar to what happened here with the CAD JPY. CAD JPY also formed a similar structure there in the market. As we could see here, this was also what also happened here. And this actually respected, this was a breakout and respected move to the upside. So that was actually an opposite setup there. I fill up this every day of the week, okay, week in, week out. I do that. I'm not going to really be trading the AUD currencies this week, okay. For the AUD and ZD, AD&Z actually paused to make a push to the upside, but with the new week in new month, okay, current rejection here, I think I'll need to look for more confirmation, okay, to short it down. So I think price will actually come in to testing this area. All right, so that'll be all for today. And before I wrap this session off, let me just quickly take a look at the metals, the gold. Okay, last week it was very crazy at my end here. My entry was not triggered on the crude oil, and I was furious. Okay, I was furious, so massively furious. I'm gonna have to do it manually this week. Okay, I'm gonna do it manually this week, and I'm gonna have to do it manually this week. Okay, crude oil is actually doing everything I expected it to do. Okay, it's doing everything I expected it to do. It's gonna come into some sort of contraction. Okay, before now the explosion. Okay, it's gonna contract. Okay, before then explode into any direction. I'm looking at that possibility. So if I don't think I'll be taking any short trade from here. I should have been in the trade right from here up to this point. I will not be taking any trade here. I just wanted to fall on the sun. Gold should rise back into the 2,000 area mark, which is crazy. Crazy, right? Crazy, guys. Crazy. Crazy. That's crazy. I don't think that's really crazy, guys. Really crazy. But we could have a rejection of this point. It's still a possibility of the 1.1967. It's just really crazy. I don't have a reason to trade gold, buy, short, anything. The way it's positioned, crazy. No structure. No structure, guys. No structure. Silver, well, silver came in rejected this support here, 22. Broke through this huge resistance, 25, 200. Could actually make its way into, but max this actually marked, and this could be a retracement of this mark, will actually drop one more time. Well, for silver, thing is crazy. I think I want to see rejection of a high. Yeah, what I want to say. All right, that'll be it for this week's pre-market presentation. I hope this actually helps you one way or the other into taking those good trades. Okay, we've analyzed several markets and I've showed you areas where I want to start looking for opportunities, when, how, if, the right statements coming into the market, and I'll just take those trades when they're ready. Okay, when they're ready, I'll just take them. I'll just take them when they're ready. Here, I think silver has potential of still moving to the upside, after taking out, because I think it has potentials. This was a failed rally, drop, came back down, rejected, okay, couldn't go back down, broke through. I think silver can actually come into retest and then continue to the upside, at least possibly till this point. This was last structure. I think there's a huge possibility for that happening. So we'll look at this key area here of the 24 area there. I think so. I think so. All right. So wrap up this session. I hope this improves your trading and may your page be above average. Also, just remember that previous performance doesn't actually guarantee future results, and trade in the share of the smart money. And remember to always risk what you can afford to lose at any point in time. All right. Trading both risk and you can lose more than your capital, and always stay tips minded. All right. See you soon.